Hi folks, Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. We're on a really busy street in beautiful San Francisco. We're going to zoom in because as soon as that light flashes and the cars are going by, it's going to be loud and it's going to drown me out. Can you get an idea what we're doing here? What we're doing here, guys, is number one is we're going to remove these and put some paper underneath these because they will leak. Now the fella doing this, like a lot of people, I've done this about 50 times where I say we got to remove the wood trim. If we put the paper inside this key here, this seam right here and this caulking area will eventually give way. It's best to have, it'd be like a gasket, where once this is removed we put the actual flash in here. Anyway, I'll explain it a little bit more once the red light starts. This guy here, we're going to remove all this here because it takes too long to try to tie this little bit in properly. So we're going to take that off. What we got on this other side is the same thing. This piece of wood here, we're going to pull this out just a little bit with a cat's paw and slide our paper inside here. That way, when it rains, the water doesn't go in here. We're going to do a little bit with the windows too up there when we get to that stage, but we're going to set staging here first, scaffolding, and then I'll show you what we're referring to when we get up there. Alright guys, we got a red light before all the traffic starts. You take a cat's paw, put it in here, and then that way you're able to shove your paper here. We remove all of the stucco molds here. We're about to put it back right now. That's how you got to go in order to watertight behind stucco molds windows. It acts as a gasket. When traffic stops, we'll show you more. Okay guys, next stage is, now that we have our paper underneath here, we've hammered this back on. Our stucco stop is now in place on top of the flashing. And again, this flashing acts like a gasket, so water can't go through this miter joint and swell the wood. This is pretty stuck. I can't peel it up because it's stuck. What we can do is we can put a membrane right here. The more once I peel and stick this to here, we're watertight now because we can't lift up. Generally, we like to get underneath the flashing. So if you can't, you can always go this procedure here. All right, guys. Last thing I'm going to show you on this particular job is the windows here are mounted in right here on the wood with no paper. We removed it yesterday to put the paper here. Now, why can't you do this right here? Because depending on what city you're in, say you're in a hot city, the caulking will eventually fail, and then water will get through there. And at first, the first year or two or three, it opens up a little bit. It allows a little bit of moisture and water. But over the next 10, 11, 12, 15 years, it gets a big gap right here, then water comes in, and the sides fail like it did already. So that's why we're going to flash this prior. Again, the flashing will act as a gasket. Kind of like you put a water hose together without a washer. Now that water hose, when you turn the pressure on, it'll squirt everywhere, but it'll look like it's working. The same applies here. This will look like it's working for many years. You won't know that it failed until it's too late and you're redoing it for a second or third time. That's why we're pulling this off here. And the staging, when I saw it yesterday, I thought, man, I'll just bring the staging rather than just use a ladder. The staging now allows us to take these off and paper this properly, simply because we're standing right here instead of working off the ladder. Okay guys, it's kind of loud here as usual. Now this, we're getting ready to put all the wood back on it. My last piece right here. So, we're sticking it this way. We have somewhat of a gasket now for all the decorative trim now. See, we got here, we're going to put our paper underneath here, just like we did there. And everything is flashed the way it should be. Now all the windows and everything can go on here, and with minimal worry about the caulking. Alright guys, we're all set with this. You can take a peek up top. You can see what we have. Now he's just going to install the windows. And after the city comes out and inspects the lath, we're going to come back and do the scratch and brown. Beautiful San Francisco, we beat the rain. My name is Kirk. I'm with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Thank you folks for watching. As usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.